As part of our previous class, we were discussing about SAP SD sales document type, SAP SD sales document type configurations, the sales document type configuration settings, or the sales document type, the configuration control parameters. So that means when you create a sales order, on the front end, when you create a sales order, okay. So when you create a sales order, or when you start processing the sales order using the VA01 on the front end, like the easy access screen, once you select the sales document type, in the previous class, you understood that the sales document type, what you are selecting at the front end, like here, like in the VA01 screen. So when you select the sales document type, so this is controlling many parameters. The document type, what you selected here, will be having many controls while creating the sales order. Like what should be the number increment for the items what you are assigning to the order? What should be the so for example, if you enter the material, okay, and what should be the number increment? Is it 10, 20, 30, or is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, that also controls. Where is that control available? Whatever the document type you specified, while creating the order in the previous screen, so that has that control. And not only that, the requested delivery date, how this is determining this? How why not it is a today's date? Why not tomorrow? Why only like 13? Or why the pricing date should be today's date? Why not 1 week after? So these kind of dates, okay, this kind of item increment, and also when you save the order, when you complete the order, when you complete the sales order, what number you would like to get it for your sales order? What number sequence? What number series you wanted to get it for your sales order? So all these control parameters, where you are defining, where you are maintaining all those parameters under the sales document type configuration. So that means each and every document type, okay, each and every sales document type has its own control parameters which will influence while creating the sales order. Are you clear with that? What you are trying to understand, what you are discussing now?
Yes, Venkat.
Yes, Venkat.
Okay. So now let me go to the configuration of the sales document type. So if I go to what is the T code VO, V8 is the configuration of sales document type. And there is another way, right? There are two ways to access any configuration or to access any transaction. Okay. Basically, the configurations are the background things. Configurations are background control things which were taken care, or which are taken care by the consultants. So like for example, VA01. So who will do this? So this is being used by the business users. Okay, the client business users or the business process owners will do the creation of the order, creation of the delivery, creation of the price master data, all the master data and the transactional data, will be handled by will be created will be generated or will be created by the business users or the business process owners, not by the consultants. So it is not your responsibility. I mean, you create lot of orders. You create lot of orders and lot of master data for what? For our testing purpose, for our for making sure the system is ready for your business user. Okay, you also do that, but it is ultimate activity of the business user. But as a consultant, you should know each and every field. You should know each and every process of creating this order. Okay, you need to know what is this field, what is this field, what is this field, what is this document type, and also you need to know like so what is this sold to party, what is this ship to party, what is this delivery block. So like this we need to know as a consultant, but still we don't create the sales order on the front end. The business user will create. But what is our responsibility? Our responsibility is to make the system is ready, to make the system ready for the business user to start using the, like to start creating the transactions or the creating the master data. For that, like we do the consultants, okay, the consultant like you and me, okay, all of us configure the system, all of us make the system ready for the business users. Okay, that means in simple words, if the business user wanted to create a sales order, if the business user wanted to create a sales order, what are the mandatory things? What are the mandatory things? What has to be done in the background? What has to be configured in the background? By looking at this screen, you can tell me. So if your business users start using the, if your business users start creating the sales order, what background settings you need to done? You need to have to complete. You need to configure the document type, right?
Yes.
And also what you need to do? You need to configure the
Sales area.
like
Sales area.
Means what you need to complete? You need to set up the organizational structure, enterprise structure. You need to configure the enterprise structure. You need to configure the organization structure, like organization structure or the enterprise structure. Okay, you also need to configure the. So where we do that? We do all those things in the SPRO, right? So we do all those things in the SPRO. If I go to the SPRO reference IMG. Okay, so here you can see enterprise structure. Under the enterprise structure, what you do? You define the organizational elements. So you define the organizational elements for each and every module. Okay, for sales and distribution module, what organizational elements we define? We define the sales organization, we define the distribution channel, we define the sales office, sales group. And for the financial accounting, for the finance side, what organizational elements we need to define? We need to define the company, we need to define the credit control area, we need to define the company code, and we need to define some other things. Okay, from the logistics general, like which is related to sales little bit. So what you need to do? You need to define the division. So what division your product belongs to? Whether the product belongs to like a passenger car, or you can say like recreation cars or fleet cars, like the car for enterprise, or a car for like there are some budget, some car like car rental companies, right? Like this, what division, what kind of product division this product belongs to. So like this, you need to define, you know, all the organization elements. Okay, so that is what. So whatever is required for your business users, you do in the background by saying that as a configuration. You do all the configuration settings in the background. You do all the configuration settings in the background which are required for a business user to run the show, to do day-to-day transactions. Okay. Okay. And then what else? You need to help them to create the sales, like customers. Okay. And also like, for example, so if they want to apply any delivery block, so how these delivery blocks are available? So you do this, all these configurations in the background. Okay, you do all this, you define all the delivery blocks. whether the delivery block is because of political reason, whether the delivery block is because of no printing, whether the delivery block is because of credit limit. So whatever the business requirements, whatever the different delivery blocks required for your business, all the delivery blocks you define in the background, so that the business user will use, so that your business user, end user or power user, the business process owner will use those delivery blocks while creating the sales order. If you understood, now you understood what is configuration. In the similar way, you need to define the building blocks. If you want to put a building block for the sales order, that means you want restrict the billing not to create for this order. What you need to do, you need to give a reason to the system. You need to define the reasons for your business users so that they can select. They can say that price is incomplete. They can say the calculation is not available. Okay, like this you need to define the building blocks. And not only that, you need to define the payment terms. So what are the payment conditions? Whether the business, whether your business customer, whether the customer for your business has to pay the money immediately, or within 1 month, or within 20 months, or within 2 days. So those payment terms also you need to configure in the background. Okay, whatever the payment terms, whatever the payment conditions required for your business users or for your business process, those things you do all this in the background. So that is called configuration. Basically, the configuration settings or the configuration process will help or will control the system in the front end. So when you create an order, when you create a customer, when you create a delivery, when you create a billing document. So what?
Salim?
Hello? Umaira? Umaira. Okay. So you define all these configurations in the background. So among all those configurations, sales document type is one of the configuration element. Sales document type is one of the configuration element which has some set of control parameters. Okay. Now let me go to. Okay. We can also go to the sales document configuration in SPRO using the sale like SPRO IMG, sales and distribution, sales.
Venkat, I'm sorry. I have a question. So whatever the list right now you showed in the building block and everything, is that shown based on the document type right now?
No, those are not based on the document type. Those are different. Those are individual configurations.
Oh, those are individual configurations. Okay.
The delivery block, building block, payment terms, those are individual configurations. Okay.
Okay, it's not based on the document type.
It's not based on the document. Document type controls only few things. Document type cannot control all the things. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The document type controls. The document type tells the system what kind of document it is, whether it is a sales order, whether it is an inquiry, whether it is a quotation, whether it is a contract. Okay, that means whatever the order you are creating here, whether it is an order, whether it is an inquiry, whether it is a quotation, whether it is like a scheduling agreement, so that what kind of transaction it is controlled by the sales document type category. And if you want to apply any block to the sales document type, sales document type, you can put it so that in the future, like the system by default applies a block. So if you put a block, the system applies the overall block to the transaction, and then someone has to come to the picture to remove the block. And then, okay, this is for a internal number range and external number range, and this is for item number increment. Whether you want to increase the item number increment in the system by 10, 20 or 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. For example, if I say 100 and save it, okay. Now it is like the item number is incremented by 10, 20, right? Okay. Now I'm changing the configuration. Like previously it was, since it was 10, it is increasing the item number by 10, 20. Now what I did, I put 100. Okay. If I go back, and come again to create a sales order. Okay. I'm selecting the items. So what is the item number increment here? Now, why 100, 200, 300 like that? Because in the document type configuration of YAOR, what I did, I put the number increment must be 100, means 100, 200, 300, 400, right? Understood?
Yes.
I'm not able to hear you. Can I continue? Okay.
Yes, Venkat.
Okay. So and after this you can specify to create a sales order, using this document type, you want to put any reference. The reference is mandatory, or is it okay without the reference? So reference means, with what reference we create a sales order? You remember the process? So generally what is the process?
Inquiry, quotation,
So basically the sales process starts with inquiry,
quotation,
quotation, and then
order,
sales order,
delivery,
delivery. So now the point,
and billing.
so when creating the sales order, if you say the reference is mandatory, if you say the reference is mandatory, like saying that the sales order with this document type, has to be created with reference to a quotation. If I say the sales order has to be created with reference to the quotation only, and if I save this configuration in the background, and if I go and create, okay, sales order. So what the system is saying, that what the system is asking me,
It's asking a reference quotation.
because why, in this order type configuration, I told in the order type configuration I specified this sales order with this document type has to be created only with reference to the quotation. So that is the reason the system is asking you to specify the quotation. So like this you can also control that. Okay. And then, so there is something called check division. So check division means, for example, let me put this way. So here, when you try to create a sales order, you are selecting one division, right? You are selecting the sales organization, distribution channel, and division, right? When you try to create a sales order, you enter the order type. Okay, let me take out this reference. We don't need that. Okay. Okay. So now when you try to create order, you are selecting one division, right? Okay. Get into it. And now, so you are selecting customer and okay. And then, you know, this check division means you are telling the system, please check whether the division of this material, is same of the sales orders division or not. That means you selected one division while in the previous screen, and if I go to the material master, what is the T code to display the material master? What is the T code to create the material master, Nandini?
01.
Like display, like create or display. MM01 is for display the material. MM02 is change the material, and MM03 is display. MM01 is create. MM02 is change. Okay. If I go and display the material, okay. So if I select the organization levels, so if I get into the material, and go to the basic data or okay, so here we have a division for the material, right? There is an option to maintain the division for the material. Am I correct? And also, if I go to the sales organization 1 tab, what is it? I have one more option to maintain the division. Am I correct?
Yes.
So you are telling the system, so in the configuration of the sales document type, you are telling the system, check the division. Please make sure whether the division of the material is same as the division what I entered in the previous screen of creation of the sales order. So if it is different, whether you want the no dialog, whether you want a dialog, like just the pop-up message saying that the division from the header is different from the item. Okay, or if you want to like error message, so you don't want to process at all. If the division of the sales order header, like header in the sense previous screen, is differ from the material master division, if you don't want to continue further, you can say error. Then the system will not allow you to move further unless you change the division for the material or you change the division in the previous screen. So like this, that option also available for you. Okay, and also what you can maintain here, and for your information, at any point of time, whatever the explanation I am giving, okay, if in case you don't remember, after some time, and if you wanted to read any information, like in SAP, there are two keys. There are two keys like your computer keyboard keys, which will help you to understand the complete SAP. Okay, if you have the patience and if you have the time, and if you can use F1 and F4, everything is in F1 and F4. For example, you wanted to know what is this field. You wanted to know, you don't know, or whatever I'm going to explain now. Okay, you forget it. So you wanted to know yourself. Then what you can do, you can use the button F1. It gives the complete information. So it says that this field indicates whether the division at the item level is proposed from the material master item, or whether the division you enter in the sales document header is also counts for all items. So that means you are telling the system here, okay, if you do the check mark, that means you are telling the system, propose the division for the material in the sales order. Propose the division for this material in the sales order under this document type. Whenever you create a sales order in this document type, you are telling propose the division from the material master, not from the sales order header. Header means whatever you enter in the previous screen, the VA01 screen, so that is not going to be counted. So you wanted to propose the division for this material from the material master record. If you want that, you can check mark it. So if you don't want it, if you don't want from the material master, you are okay with whatever you entered in the previous screen, then what you can do, you can make it uncheck mark. So like this, whether you wanted to propose the division for the material what you entered in the sales order of the sales order document type, okay, you can check mark it. You don't want it, you can make it unblank. I mean, you can just leave it. Okay, and read info record. So what is info record? Basically, maybe I will explain it little later. Basically, there is something called customer material information record. There is something called customer material information record. Can anyone tell me what is your understanding on the customer material information record?
If the
It's
customer
the
has own material number, then and the system will automatically recognize that and it will replace it.
Okay. Actually, what happens in SAP, whenever a material which is customer material information record, that record is being used, okay, to maintain the customer material for the company's material. That means, so there is a material called, you can say TV. I can say like there is a material called TV. So you call the material as a TV from your perspective. But whereas the customer is referring the same product with a different name, like he's saying that smart TV, he's saying that Google TV, or he's saying that something else. So whenever the customer, whenever you wanted to maintain the customer material, the customer specific material, whenever you wanted to maintain, whenever you need to maintain the customer specific material name for the material of your company's product, whenever you wanted to maintain the customer specific material name for your company's material, for your material, then what you do, you maintain a record. There is a transaction code VD51. There is a transaction code VD51. Okay, you specify the customer, you specify the organization and the distribution channel, and you specify here, you specify what is the material name. Okay, for example, you specify the material name, the company's material name is, this is the company's material name. So now what we can do, okay, you can specify the customer material name as 1234, or like you can specify a name. Okay, so if the customer material name is 1234 and your material name is like 6227, or you can say, okay, so the customer material name is LCD laptop. The customer call this product as LCD laptop, but whereas your company call it as notebook. Then what you do, so you maintain a customer specific material for your material and you save it. Okay, and when you go and try to create, let it come. Okay, so now what is happening? Did you observe it? Anyone observe it? Something?
The customer material number came in displayed.
You see, previously this field is filled or not previously. So previously it was not showing, right? It was only showing the notebook LCD display. But now why this field is displaying? Because I maintain a customer specific material. I maintain a customer specific material. I maintain the customer specific material. What is the customer specific material name? LCD laptop. If I say LCD or if I say HP laptop, okay, and save it, okay, and try to go create one more sales order, okay. So what is the customer material number displaying now? HP laptop. What is controlling or what is how it is getting? You maintain a customer material name for the material of 6227. Actually the material name is notebook LCD display, but you maintain this product is called by the customer as HP laptop. So if you maintain this record, this is a master data. This is not configuration. This is maintained with the business user. Okay, this is called master data. You remember, right? What are the different master data element? Customer master, material master, and the third one is customer material master, like customer material information record. This is the third one. Okay, if you maintain it, then the system will display that customer material number in the sales order process. So here the point is whether you wanted to okay, it is like this. You maintain the customer material information record. There is an option for you whether you wanted to read that or you don't want to read it. For example, if you come now, can you see this? What is this control in the sales document type? In the sales document type configuration, in the sales document type configuration of YAOR, like when you are configuring the sales document type, you can tell the system whether the sales order of this document type, whether the sales order of this document type has to read the info record or not. So since you made it check mark, you are telling read it. If I make it uncheck, okay, that means I'm telling the system when I create a sales order using the document type, when I create a sales order using this document type, what I'm telling do not read the customer material information record. If I check mark it, I'm telling read the customer material master record and display in the sales order. If I uncheck it, what does it mean? I'm telling you don't need to read. You don't need to get from the customer material information record. I save it, and if I go and create one more time, so what I'm doing, I'm trying to create a sales order. Using the document type, sales document type YAOR. Okay. Is it coming now? Is the customer material number coming now?
No.
That means even though you have the record, even though you have maintained the customer material information record for the material 6227, but still it is not coming. Why? Because in the configuration of the sales order which is creating now using what document type? It is creating using the document type YAOR. In this sales document type configuration, you instructed the system, you guided the system. You do not need to read the customer material information record. You don't want to read it, whether it is there or not. You are least bothered. So that means you don't want to read it. So like this, you can also tell the system whether the system has to read. Using the document type configuration, you can tell the system whether the system has to read any customer material information available record or not. If you check it, it will go and check is there any record. If it is there, it will display the name of the customer material in the sales order. If it is not there, then it will not display. So like this sales document type controls many parameters, many things, okay, which will help you to process the sales order, but not all the things. Few things it will control. Okay, and then okay, you can also tell the system what is the order probability. So some orders may be having like 10% probability, right? So this like you can tell mostly like most of the orders in SAP, this field is not being very frequently used. We can make it 100%. You can say like probability. Okay, and then you can also tell the system the credit limit, how the system has to respond, for the credit limit. So that means you can tell the system whether when you are creating you can tell the system when you are creating a sales order using this document type, when you are creating a sales order using the document type YAOR, you can tell whether this sales order has to be undergo credit check or not, whether you wanted to run the credit check or not. So if you say no credit limit check, if you leave it blank, if you just leave it blank, okay, and then save the configuration and try to create a sales order, what you instructed the system, please do not run the credit check. You are least bothered whether the customer is having any outstanding amount or not. You don't need to worry. So that is what you are telling, like whether you wanted to run any credit check or not, whether you wanted to run the credit limit of the customer or not. That is blank. If you put A, you are telling the system run the credit check, but just give the warning message. Run the credit check and give the warning message. So basically in SAP there are two different things: warning message and error message. If you get any warning message, anywhere doing the transaction in SAP, you are still allowed to continue further. You are still allowed to process order and save it, to process something and save it. But whereas if you get the error message, you cannot save it. You cannot go further. You cannot move further. Okay? So you can say run the credit check. That's up to you. That's up to your business. If your business user say, if the customer is exceeding the credit limit, I don't want to save the order, I don't want to allow the people to create order, then you can say B. That is, run the credit check and give the error message if he exceeded the credit limit. Give the error message so that will not allow the user to create the sales order. Or sometimes what you can say run the credit check if in case the customer exceeded the credit limit. If the customer is exceeded the credit limit, that means okay, if the sales order value is exceeded the total credit limit of the customer, okay, you are asking put the delivery block. Okay, where is the delivery block? This is the delivery block, but you can put any reason. Okay, you can tell put the delivery block means it automatically applies 0 1 like credit limit. Okay, if you say run the credit check and apply the delivery block, if we exceeded the credit limit, then system apply this credit block delivery block. That means what? You are allowing the system to create a sales order, but you are putting a block for the delivery for the future. So that what happens? Whenever you create a delivery, system will stop you. System says that there is a credit block for this order. There is a credit block for this sales order. Please take care. Then some authorized person will come. There are some authorized people. They will come to the picture. They will validate what is this customer, who is this customer, what is this order, what is this value, and they will verify. If it is appropriate, they'll remove the credit block. Otherwise, they will stop the transaction. So that option also there. And one more option, automatic credit check. Now you will not able to understand this. We will discuss later. When we discuss the credit management functionality, that time we will discuss. Okay. So this is what the checking the credit limit. Okay. So and then so here enter the PO number. So when creating this sales order, you have this PO number, right? So whether the user has to enter the PO number or not. For example, if you do the check mark for this, enter the PO number, what is going to happen? We'll see. Again, I'm going back. So what is the system asking you? Enter the PO number. So like this, whether you need the PO number for a transaction sales order process or not, that also it controls. And other than this, what you can understand at this moment. Okay.
Venkat, I had a question.
Please.
You said enter PO number, so over there was an error warning. Could you still go ahead with the order?
Yes, because it is not a mandatory item. It is just reference. You can still go.
Okay.
It is a warning message. If it is the error
Okay.
message, you will not go ahead. You cannot go ahead. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. So and then if you go down, these things are like by default we don't do anything. Okay. If you go down, there is a tab called shipping tab. Shipping tab means like you could what you create after the sales order. What you create after the sales order? You create a delivery, right? Okay, and then you create a billing. Okay, and while in the configuration of this order itself, you can tell the system. What would be the delivery type you need to select while create a what would be the delivery type you need to select while creating a delivery for the sales order. That means, for example, I am saving this order. Okay, I am saving the sales order. Just observe it. It looks there is an incomplete, some mandatory fields are missing. Okay, what are these mandatory fields? Let me. Okay, I don't want to maintain. I don't want to take the time. Just let me delete this one. Second item. Okay, save it. So the sales order is going to be saved. I told you, right, this is because of GTS system connected to the system. You don't need to worry. Okay, the order is created, and if we go and try to create, let me copy this order. So if I go to the change mode of this order, okay, and then if I try to deliver, what we do after order? We create a delivery, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Sales order and then outbound delivery. That is delivery. I'm creating delivery now. Oh, okay. Legal control item. It is because of GTA system connected. Okay, let me go to this way. What is the delivery T code transaction? VL01N. Okay. So okay, let me put this way. I will get separate system for us because this is connected with the GTA system and we'll have some issues. But I'm going to get separate system for our practice, only ECC, no connection to the GTS. Okay, GTS is a separate module. GTS is a separate module which I handle, which I take the classes. Hence I try to use the same ECC, but I will get the different system for you. Okay. And now let me go here, the configuration. So now you can tell the system. You can tell the system what should be the delivery type. What should be the delivery type when you try to create outbound delivery for the sales order of this order type. You understood? So in the configuration of this order type itself, you can tell what should be the delivery, what delivery type should be used to create, what delivery type should be used to create outbound delivery, for this order of this order type. Okay, we can do that. And if you want to apply any delivery block, if you want to apply any delivery block for this order type, you can, for example, if you say like if you apply a delivery block to this order type, okay, and then if I go and create, if I go and try to create a sales order, okay, see, try to observe it. When I hit enter, what happens? Why this delivery block is automatically applied? What is controlling? Because this order type, the configuration of this order type is controlled, is specified. Okay, there should be some delivery block for this order. Okay, like this. So like this you can specify in the similar way. So there is something called shipping conditions, which we already discussed. Okay, in the customer master creation, shipping conditions means like you have any special shipping conditions. Do you have any special shipping conditions to deliver this product? That means, is it as soon as possible, or the standard is okay, or collective processing you need, or you need any just in time process, like this, whatever the, like you can say immediately, whatever the shipping conditions you need for this order of this document type, you can specify this. Okay, and then in the billing also, you can specify what should be the billing type, you need to use. So the order of this, the sales order of, what should be the billing type for the order of this order type, the sales order of this order type. So like this you can specify the billing type as well. Okay, and if you want to apply any billing block in the order for this order, okay, if you want to apply any billing block, you can put it. How? If you specify in the configuration level, you can apply it. Okay, that also you can do it. Okay, and then can you see this requested delivery date, pricing date, and the purchase order date? Requested delivery date, pricing date, and purchase order date. So this is what I was telling you, like in the previous class and the today's class. Okay, now I'm going to create sales order. Okay. How this requested delivery date is filled? How this requested delivery date is proposed? Because in the configuration of this order type, okay, we put lead time in 7 days. So since we put lead time in 7 days, so it is proposing 7 days after the, like it looks like it taken out the weekends like Saturday and Sunday based on the factory calendar. It is proposing 30th. Okay. For example, if I say 10 days, or if I say 15 days, okay, if I say 15 days and save it, let me go back. Maybe it is not updated, not sure. Let me come again. And really sometimes whatever the configuration you do, you see now it's changed, right? Because previously it was not updated. Whatever the configuration I saved it takes like for a couple of seconds or minutes like to update, right? That too, it is a demo system. You see now it is changed, right? So what is controlling the requested delivery date? The document type configuration. Okay, and then so whether you want to propose the delivery date or not. So if I say uncheck mark, okay, and if I go and create the sales order, so is it proposing the delivery date now? Why? Because I instructed the system. I don't want to propose the delivery date. I don't want to propose the delivery date. Okay. So like this, if I say like propose the delivery date, and if I save this configuration, okay, and if I go and come again, so now it is proposing because I told the system to propose the delivery date. And like this PO date also, if I want to propose PO date, if I want to propose the PO date, okay, and if I go and come again, see the PO date is proposing. Why? Because the document type of the sales order, is instructed or configured with propose the delivery date and propose the PO date. And also what? Proposing the pricing date. Okay. So how do you want to propose the pricing date? If you want to say propose the pricing date as a today's date. So why it is showing the today's date as a pricing date? Why the today's date? Why not tomorrow? Why not after 1 week? Because in the configuration of the sales orders document type, we mention propose based on the today's date. If I say propose the price date based on the requested delivery date, we'll see what is going to happen. So what you told? You told the system the pricing date should be the delivery date of the transaction, right? That is what you selected here. Am I correct? Yes, right. That is what you selected A. So like this, all these configuration controls, all these control parameters, whatever you maintain for the sales document type will be reflecting while processing the sales order for the using the document type. Okay, like this for each and every document type, you can maintain different control parameters and you can select while creating the sales order. So these are the some of the important sales document type configuration control settings. There are other things, but you do not need at this moment. Okay, maybe going forward you may need here and there. Then you can go back and check it based on the requirement. But I try to cover whatever the fields we frequently used, we generally used for any kind of project. Okay, so like this, you need to understand how the document type configuration control settings, the sales document type configuration control settings are important while processing the sales order using the document type. Okay, and in the next class we will talk about, there is something called item category. Okay, so now whatever we discussed the sales document type, so that is like basically the header level of header part of the sales order. Header part means the sales order structure is header level, item level. Item level is this. Okay, this is item level. Okay, item level, and there is something called schedule line level. I will discuss later. We will discuss in the next Saturday morning. Okay, please join next Saturday morning 7 o'clock. Okay, please join next Saturday morning 7 o'clock to discuss about the item category configuration. And before that, I already sent you some PPTs and PDFs. Please go through those documents before the Saturday. Okay.
And Venkat, will we get system access?
Yes, I will get it before Saturday, or in a day or two. I will get the system access.
Okay, thank you.
Venkat, also if you get a chance, send us the last Saturday's recorded session.
Okay, let me send right away. Otherwise, I will miss it. Okay. Just give me 2 minutes. So accepting like last Saturday's class, I have shared everything, right? Sorry,
Yes, Venkat.
that is only the one pending.
Yeah, last class is pending.
Okay. Okay, I just shared that one also. Please check and let me know if you have any issues. Thank you. See you Saturday. See you on Saturday.
Thanks, Venkat.
Thank you.